is what you're good at. What you're good at writing. In my case, I pay a lot of attention to realism. I try to do my research as much as I can. I write about Singapore, and I write very realistic action scenes for some reason. This is my brand: realism, research, action scenes. So, if you're a writer, think what you're good at. Then base your promotion messages on your brand. In my case, I did that a fair bit. I made sure I played out the 3 things I've said so far. And it worked. Up to a point. As I explained it. Now, the last point is integrated marketing campaign. IMC is a very interesting thing, and it's way beyond the scope of this presentation. What this all means, though, is that all the promotion channels must work together to create a consistent message. What you say on Twitter has to be the same as what you say on Facebook, as to what you're saying to your friend. What you should not do is follow the example of Sherlock. Anyone knows what Sherlock is? No? Well, Sherlock is a British crime drama. In Britain, it's built as a reimagining of the original Sherlock Holmes tales. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson band together to fight Britain's deadliest criminals. In South Korea, it's a little different. In South Korea, meet Dr. John Watson, the world's loneliest man. One day, he meets Sherlock Holmes, the world's most work-obsessed detective. Together, as they help the British police fight criminals, maybe, just maybe, they found the right person for each other. Yes, a romance series. It's incredible, isn't it? A crime thriller being billed as a romance story. You don't want that. You want your readers to know exactly what they're in for, no matter where they come from. Even if they come from Germany, if they come from Switzerland, if they come across your book, and come across the marketing messages, you want them to know what they're in for. And that's why you definitely need an IMC. But also remember though, find something that works for you. Remember what I said about Sherlock? The thing is, it worked. The romance bill actually worked. And why? Because in South Korea, audiences are more likely to watch romantic comedies than they are to watch thrillers. So don't be afraid to break the rules. Don't be afraid to do something else I've said here. Always find out what works for you. Let's go beyond the market. Let's talk about other things in the future. Right now, the publishing industry is changing very rapidly. The advent of indie publishing and the merger of several companies is causing massive changes in the industry. So you got to know what you're in for. Sorry. You got to know what you're in for if you sign a publishing house. You got to know what to expect if you could self-publish. If you do a book, you got to know the pros and cons of both. Do your research. Make sure that the publishing house you sign with won't mistreat you. Make sure you know what kind of work you're in for if you self-publish. And once you choose a publishing method, adapt your strategy accordingly. A mainstream publisher will want to focus on print books. A self-publisher may want something else. So, be flexible. Adapt. Why did I choose indie? This presentation focused on indie, so let's talk a little about why I chose it. First, obviously, high royalty rates, 45.5 to 100%. Despite what I said earlier, that's over 3 times what your average traditional practice is going to get from a mainstream publishing house. In addition to that, I retain total control of rights. I decide what happens when I work. I am not at the mercy of some guy who may not know what's best for my story. And finally, I have easy international distribution. One click, and the story is sold everywhere in the world. Contrast this with other mainstream publishers, where they can tell you, oh hi, we finished your work. Please wait for 6 more months before your print book will be out in America, and 1 more year before your ebook is sold. You don't want that. In a market defined by long tail, you want your stories out as soon as possible. But there are cons to this. Firstly, it's a huge amount of work. There's writing, planning, promotion, research, plotting, juggling life, as Jasmine of there can point out. Right? It's exhausting, to be honest. If you want to play an indie role, you have to be prepared to be exhausted on a regular basis. In addition to that, there's also a stigma against self-published writers. Lots of reviewers won't touch you if you are self-published. Lots of bookshops won't like you if you say self-published. The good news is, that's not necessary anymore. But you need to adapt. So be ready for that. And finally, only if you're not American or live outside America, right? You gotta pay de facto taxes to IRS. But there may be a way around that. Maybe. Okay, last slide, don't worry. So my business strategy. Besides everything I've said so far, it seems to me that the most important approach for Singaporean indie writers is to aim at international markets. In my case, 90% of my sales came from overseas. So it only makes sense to focus on international market. Secondly, maximize distribution channels. The local market is very limited. You want to get around that. By doing that, do what I did. Apple, Amazon, BNN, everywhere you can. Publish, distribute. I have an ebook store on my personal website too. The thing about ebook stores is you don't have to pay anyone anything. There's no middleman to go through. So all the money goes to you. 100% royalties. And that is the reason why I managed to survive as an independent writer. In the future, I aim to get that, an employer identification number. According to American law, if you have an EIN, the IRS is supposed to return 30% royalties to you. Doesn't matter who you are or where you live. And apparently it works. For people living in Ireland, Australia, they have an EIN, they don't have to pay 30% anymore. So I'll try it, and if it works, I'll get back to everyone here. And my last point, I aim to publish more books. I'm a writer. My core product is writing. There's no substitute for that, and ultimately it's the only thing that the market will care about. And that's what I will do. I will write. And now, we come to the end of the presentation. Thank you all for your time. Before we come to Q&A, I'll be right here. Yes?
You said you have an ebook store on your website, so how do you deliver those ebooks? Are they PDFs, or how, when somebody buys it off your website, how are they receiving it?
Interesting question. Right now, what I've got is I do things manually. I have contact form for people to contact me and tell me what books they want. Originally, I offered ebooks in PDF format, but now, with Calibre, I can convert it to EPUB or other formats. That said, in the future, I will put up an automated ebook store. This store will be able to take orders and deliver ebooks any time in the world and take payments from any other options. So thank you. Did that answer your question?
Well, but right now, are you still using PDFs, or are you doing something else right now?
Most of my sales in PDF, but I can deliver in EPUB and other formats.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Yes.
How do you convert to those other formats, to EPUB and other formats? And is it free to convert, or do you have to pay a fee?
How do you convert to other formats? There's this program called Calibre. C-A-L-I-B-R-E. Calibre is a free software. It allows you to edit metadata on ebooks and let you convert formats. So yes, you can upload the PDF file into Calibre, and you can change to EPUB, into other formats, what have you. And that's what I use.
I think be careful of pictures though. I think it does have a horrible conversion.
Yeah.
For pictures in Calibre.
Oh yeah. I don't embed images in my ebooks for that reason. The images, the cover art I use is always available on my website. No DRM, nothing. So if you want, copy, paste. I'm okay with that.
Okay, I was saying we're going to change over, but you're welcome to ask him questions later on and during the break.
All right, thank you all for coming.